Okay, I got a completely unrelated to any magic we're doing today. Super Mario World special stages. Because it was... I was looking at this, and it said gnarly cards, and that had me thinking about the rest of the special stages. Yeah, you're funky. That's what it was. Okay, just for those who aren't familiar with all the special stages in Super Mario World, it's gnarly's the first. Uh, that's the one with the where you're climbing a bunch and then falling down, and then tubular, way cool, awesome, groovy, mondo cool, outrageous, and funky. Mondo cool. Anyway, howdy y'all. That's what happens when I see gnarly. Is I think about gnarly and tubular. I hope you're all having a good one. Today we're doing our kind of handoff on Lorwyn. You can see the note here: Lorwyn Eclipsed limited signups end in 15 hours because Turtles release tomorrow. Uh, so we're gonna be doing our last hurrah. I'm as I've always said, I kind of want to do some more Doran, but actually, have we actually built like a full Merfolk deck? I don't know how full in on Merfolk we've been. That might be a fun direction. Anyway, but yeah, Lorwyn, we're doing our last hurrah draft today. And under normal circumstances, that would mean Turtles would have their draft on Friday, but Slay the Spire 2 is a release this week, and that doesn't get to steal priority. So Turtles will have to wait a little bit, which is fine. They'll have their time in the sun, in the eclipse. There's an eclipse tonight, actually, now that I think about it. I guess that's the final Lorwyn eclipse. I say tonight, but it's like, you know what I mean. I think it's supposed to be. Anyway. Lorwyn Eclipsed. Let's... Yeah. I know there's many a thing we can do here, and many a thing we have done. We're gonna... This is no alchemy. This is just our normal eclipse. Let's jump on in and see what sort of waves we ride. Sabo Tendi leaving Shadowmoor. Yep, right at the start, so... How's I haven't got to play with the Bitterblossom? I know that's a rare, like the Bitterblossom itself is a mythic or a bonus sheet card, and it's fine. Having goals in the format being played with a specific rare generally aren't ones that you get to meet because they're very, very specific. Alright, Blood Crypt is our rare, means we can pass on that. A Liminal Hold, and then a couple, I was gonna say Changeling, that's up here. A couple payoffs in Elves and Kithkin and some pieces like that. I think I'm fine picking up a Liminal Hold here. Evershrike's Gift is also a card I have a lot of, like playing with continuous flying. Blue is basically non-existent in this pack, so if that's something that comes from our right, uh, perhaps we can find our way into it. But we'll see. Let's pick up a liminal hold. The liminal space. I don't care too much about you, Hexing Squelcher. That's not a card I'm terribly interested in. Spiral in the Solitude sticks in white removal and keeps us going there. Graveshifter is a card I have a lot of respect for. Gravedigger is just a good card, and this has a lot of powerful synergies. I do like just cutting white and keeping that as our base. There's a lot of good places we can go from there, and having decent removal is always a good starting spot. I'm not... Hexing Squelcher in Limited isn't a card that terribly interests me. It's a bear. Hovel Hurler's good. Yeah, let's go keep the white removal, see where it leads. Ooh, okay. Maybe we can do it. Maybe I can believe. I know that Stoneback is here and that can keep us in white, but I did mention Merfolk as a possibility, and I know that this needs us to be in Merfolk, but it's also a very, very powerful card if we are. I think we're passing up the Burdened Stone pack for it if I do pick this. Unexpected Assistance is also a good card, especially with the Silver Guild Mentor. I'm going to roll the dice on this. We'll see if this pays off or if maybe the Stoneback was a little better. But, like, I think that if we can get Merfolk going, this is a card I'll feel very happy to have. Omni-Changeling is a card I like a lot. Carol Attentive First Year is more of a constructed piece. Copying triggered abilities isn't as exciting. I like Omni-Changeling a lot. We did have a... Now that I think about it, we had a Merfolk deck that I remember liking, but it was based around Omni-Changeling and a bunch of champions. It was a very different world. Still good, obviously, but... what else is good in here? We saw Zealot in the last pack, too. That's very nice. Blossom Bind is powerful. We're already pretty heavy on the removal side. I want to set this up and see if this works. Is it too much to pick up Everstrike's Gift here? Unexpected Assistance number 3 passing through. Sun-Dabbled Celebrant is also a card that works well with the, like, token pieces. Maybe that's more interesting for us is trying to get the card drawer, the bodies. I'm gonna go with the Unexpected Assistance and keep that rolling. Okay. Obviously, this wants us to have other things. And have the Preacher with it, too, which is nice. The Preacher plays a very good support role for this deck. Like, being... You're on curve, you're making plays. I'm gonna go with the Vaulter, I think, over the Preacher. Those are the two that I care about in this pack, at least. Shield Bearer... Spikeling? Spikeling works with the Vaulter. That's a fine combination. I think I might be pushing a little bit into, like, a round peg into, like, a hexagonal hole. Sneak attack. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. The Preacher... There's, like, the pilot in, Edge of Eternities that has similar text, and also in Avatar, for all different reasons. Waterbending versus piloting versus, like, convoking and attacking. Interesting. Very late on the Eulogist, but I don't think I've seen a lot of Elf passing around. I don't feel too bad about that. The rest of this is cards I'm not, like, terribly interested in. Blood Crypt is, like, cool and all for if that's what we're doing. Alright, okay. We'll fill this out. Steam Vents. Pestered Wellguard. Okay. Reaping Willow is a card I love. Hmm. I was gonna say I'm not super interested in the Springleaf Drum in the deck, but if we have something like this, that math changes significantly. Um, Pestered Wellguard is pretty nice at if we have like ways to tap it. Hopefully we can find a little better stuff than Springleaf Drum. I'm not super in on this in limited. Reaping Willow is the other friend here, I think. I'm gonna go with the blue here. Bloom Tender, Lofty Dreams, Rhymekin Recluse. Don't care about the elemental side of this. I just like the card being a very powerful body. No white, but that just sort of looks like the makeup of the pack. Like 5 uncommons. Bloom Tender, Lofty Dreams, the Gang. Good elf stuff in here. Reaping Willow making it around. I think this is an okay pickup. I'm a little worried about triple white, but I think we can do it just fine. I really like the card a lot, even if we don't have a lot of weight for it. Shore Lurker and Temporal Cleansing are both, like, okay cards. Cleansing's a little better than okay, I think, but we're still looking for the common, Illusion Spinners. Okay, this one's good. Gravegill Scoundrel is a card that plays a decent amount of, like, strong, utility with playing Vaulter on 3 or playing Pestered Wellguard on 4. So, like, with the tap effects, that works well. Okay, white's almost completely gone here. Blue's looking okay. Runaway Together is fine. You're not as heavy in, like, cards that are great with it. In this, Changeling Wayfinder's also, like, fine for a 3. Make sure we can get to the Reaping Willow or the Changeling. Yeah, let's do that. Rhyme Speaker. Okay, I see the open deck. Rhyme Speaker's a fine card for us because we have a number of these Convoke cards that we can work with. This'll be fine. I see what the open line is. Regery, though. That's a nice pickup. I want another Mentor to go with this, but Regery is a very good aggressive piece. Yeah. Nomad, Peddler, Cleansing? I'm not super in on this Nomad here. Or let's take a Cleansing. We don't have any of that. Okay. I think pack 3 will see the white come back around. I'm surprised it says little. I expected Kifkin to be a little picked up here, but not as. Okay. They're not as picked over as I expected here. These are all fine cards. Berry Farmer. Steam Vent spec would have been fine there too. What would I be looking for off of a Steam Vent speculative pick there instead of like just like a. This is like fine 3, like filler level 3. Maybe not as necessary. Flip on. Okay, well. Take a second Temporal Cleansing, and then we'll. Okay. I want some early drops. I want some of the one drops that are like if we can get some of the nice uncommons for Merfolk coming around. Okay, well, nice start. A plus. Uh, great place to start. Sig's command. Like I'm looking for a few bigger things to be able to copy, but like at 3 mana, being able to copy like something small is just fine. Um, but no, I'm looking for like the 2/1 tapper for one. Looking for the Lord. I'm looking for the common that makes a 1/1. The 2/2 flyer with vigilance. That's a piece I think is missing here. It's a nice thing to copy. Regery coming back. Another one of these. All right. This is a nice one to have continuing things with. I would like more copies of. Maybe I was undervaluing. Now that I think about where this ends up, I think I was undervaluing the Evershrike. Uh, just from like the ability for Evershrike to be able to give this evasion and make it a much more uh, like active threat. Pretty happy though. Encumbered Regery is something that like attacks. I might be playing the Springleaf Drum. I don't know. Sprite. There's the Maris Sky Swimmer. That's the card I'm looking for. Liminal Hold is also very good. The Sprite's also good too. I think I value the first copy of the Sky Swimmer over the second copy of the Liminal Hold because of the Sig's command and some of the pieces that make this strong with evasion. Yeah, sorry, Liminal Hold. I actually, because this is the first of what we have, I need to pick this up. Darkness Descends, Silverance, Stratosorer. Could pick Stratosorer, or a Sundappled. I don't want a feisty. We were fine with a Celebrant. Well, we got some of the more token making. Okay, Sky Swimmer 2. Wonderwine Farewell as well. This one's not. This one's so expensive. I'm just gonna pick more board building. Okay. Ooh. Second Wellguard, first Preacher. We're not hard for 2 drops. No, we're gonna get more 2 drops. It's fine. It'll fix up. On that note, I probably am fine with just like. Nah, we'll grab the Peddler here. Ooh, that's a very nice wheel. Makes me feel fine about not having another one of those on 2. Gravegill Scoundrel's another way to easily tap a 3 or 4 drop. Shore Lurker also. I will take another flyer for this deck. Okay. We're missing, like, some of the more specific Merfolk payoffs in the, like, damn. I'll let you have the Auntie last pick. We're missing some of the more, like, specific Anthem and pieces like that, but I do like what we have. Also, that's a fine last pick, actually. Okay, let's get this filled out. We care a lot about these low drops. We care a lot about these bigger Convoke spells. So, you and you are in here regardless. Regeries are in here. Valter. 2 Scoundrels. Mentor. The Rhyme Recluse. The River Guards. Unexpected Absences in the Temporal Cleansing. Sig's Command. You. I think the Feisty Spikelings make it in as well. I don't know if Springleaf Drum is a card that makes it into a deck. I think it's too cute. You know what I mean? It's like... Like, if I play it on one, and then I get to use the Regery and ramp or something like that, it's like, possible, but so, the big thing is that so much of my top end already has a Convoke. Everything actually has Convoke. That's a... Yeah, okay. How are we feeling on the Reaping Willow? We don't have ways to recharge it, so it's just a once. It's still a good card at that. Like, picking up Recluse is probably its biggest value. It's better with Runaway together, that's funny. I'm gonna go with... Celebrant... A Sprite to the Runaway together? Keep out. 15 creatures. Rhyme Speaker as well, with all these things having Convoke. You're not wrong. That's a lot of card draw in a world where that functions. Twos and fours and things like that. Do I care about this as like a big old body? Or do I just want like another removal spell at the end of the day? I don't know if I don't think a large body is how we're winning. I think we're winning through a lot of like continuous maybe a peddler in here too, that'd be nice. The feisty Spikeling, I could probably afford to cut one of those. They're good with a Tributary Vaulter and basically nothing else. We'll try something like this. Alright. The draw discard as our 23rd might be a little too cute. Not too cute, but too, like, almost fillery. Alright, Jello. This will be fine. I wouldn't keep this on the play. I will keep this on the draw. I think most things turn the corner on it. Yeah. Silver Gill Peddler is the reason I'm okay with it. Just third land, and then, like, we kind of move from there. But on a mulligan, they got the cool Ice Age sleeves. On a white so far. Okay, Kithkin. On Foment, a little off curve. That's fine. Play the Peddler. The idea here is that the Peddler should be fine attacking after we bounce whatever their 4 is. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna play a feisty Changeling and trade then. They get their Surveil. I think they're land light because they weren't on green. I think at most they have another plains in hand. Yeah, okay. Alright. If nothing changes, we can temporal cleansing that. If we draw land, we can luminal hold it. This is a lot of our stuff we can't play. Perhaps this is more valuable to us as the little changeling buddy that grabs the land. That's fine. Alright, so Gravegill Scoundrel lets us play 5s. That, I think I could have attacked for 1 in there if I had done that a little better. Ward 2. Okay. Alright. Finally, we're we're finally leaving. Let's get some bodies down. I think I'll double block this with a Rhymekin Recluse and a 1/1. I think this is okay to get them to spend a combat trick or removal spell. That's a very good combat trick / removal spell. Okay. And a Bloom Tender. Pretty nice. So I can't quite... What if I go... Rhyme Speaker, Marrow Swimmer. How's this feel? I don't need lands to cast spells. Who needs lands? Okay, that Rhyme Speaker's probably dying, right? No, you've chosen... Ooh, you thought the Wellguard was the one that I don't have more copies of. Okay. So the Outrider is the thing I actually need to liminal hold. So we can just go... Liminal hold on that. Leave up Unexpected Assistance for a lot of draw. Yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. That's not fine, actually. I'd already played my land, it's fine. Combo? Alright. We gotta work down this 26, but we'll get there. So... What do you got? 2 cards, pretty real. Okay, pretty real. Continuing to be real. I'll chump the Pummeler if it comes in. They might think that I'm going to block fully on it. I'm like, that's fine too, but I don't want to lose my board quite yet. Sure, that's okay. Alright. Let's draw 1 million cards, please. Thank you for 1 million cards, please. Okay, how do we want to do this, then? Like, I want to play Pestered Wellguard. And I think I want to leave up Keep Out. Or we could get our second Wellguard back. Ooh. And then, that's not how that's gonna go. Help? Whatever. It's fine. It's not gonna cause a problem. Whatever. Arrow above the card to pass that up. Good to know for the future. I've never had that happen where the card is just covered like so. Okay. Alright. Yes, I know I'm blocking with 7 power of flyers. We're making 1 million flyers as well here, so that's fine. Every turn we're making Wellguard levels of flyers. So, I'm not worried. When you cast a spell of 4 mana value or greater. Alright, we don't really want to draw too many more cards anyway. We can just go to combat. That's a way to tap these Pestered Wellguards. You have, like, a kill spell for one of them? You do? Okay. We can just go... Get that off the table like so. Alright. That's a lot of unblockable power. Interesting. So tap the tributary vaulter. And I don't think we tap the Pestered Well Guard because it's the only thing that can possibly block in case of problems. And I do want to worry about that in case of problems. Because this is our opponent on 10, they'll just dine it all out. In case they play, like, some way of going over the top. Okay. Okay. That should be enough to make sure that this is good here by... double checking our lethal. Okay. The Outriders are a really good way for us to get killed. We don't have, like, blockers for that. The card I was worried that they would play was the 2-mana Kithkin. That's why I left that 3-2 back on the previous turn. Another victory for fairies. That one was a little funky on mana for both of us. This is a fine curve. This is a very fine curve. This is an incredibly fine curve. Are they revealing a Merfolk? I think with this amount of time, they're revealing a Merfolk. Yeah. Okay. Well... 1-3 versus 1-3. They did not have a third land. I see. Next turn, we get to play a Scoundrel and a Sky Swimmer. There's land 3 for them. Not on another color, though. Yeah, they're going to play their own Sky Swimmer. I understand. We get to play a much sillier line, though, with our Sky Swimmer. Hello. So, land 4 for them does get them the Fairy Maker going, and that's a bit of a pain. They have to get Gravegill Scoundrels going. I assume they also have another Convoke. We're just convoking cards back and forth here. They also have a chocobo. Alright. Sky Swimmer for Sky Swimmer or your trick. Disruptor? Oh, okay. That's fine. I don't really mind that much. I guess the Rhine Recluse? No, that can't get in. We need the body. All right. They're gonna make a copy of Disruptor Occurrence with an Omni Changeling now. Oh, we're in a hell of a fighting position here. Mono blue. So, oh no, unexpected assistance to try to draw out of this. So that's gonna give them their land then, so they can play the Pesterwell Guard. They have to have drawn multiple lands there. Oh boy. All right. Okay. Sig's Command. Sig's Command. What does Sig's Command get us? Copy an encumbered Regery. Merfolk you control, so we can't copy Disruptor. I want a Temporal Cleansing the Rhyme Speaker and push in at our opponent. Maybe I just do that. Maybe I don't bother with the command. We try to use that later for like a more all-in. Put them to 8 with Sig's Command still. We might just be able to, like, get them. Regery's gonna be a nice big threat. There's the Well Guard. They get to make 1/1s off it. That's gonna be a nice, like, aggressive piece. They're just gonna tap Well Guard. Sure. What do I want to do here? Sig's Command is a sorcery, right? Yeah. We can tap the Disruptor of Currents. Here and try to go in. That's not bad. Tap draw and kind of see what comes from there. Target a player, that's me. Target a creature, that's you. Okay. Sure. And then we see how much of their board they're willing to throw away here. Okay. It does end up, I think, better for them because they have the long term, but the scoundrels are a 3-turn clock they have to answer. Rhyme Seeker. That might have been a little too aggressive on my attack there. But we do have them on a 2-turn clock now. Oof. Okay, just evoked. They didn't actually have the full for it. That means they get to get aggressive here, but they didn't get to, like, have a 5/5 to follow up with. That's their honest to goodness second color. Oh. Okay. Two cards left in hand. No, they're clearly like Merfolk. Like, you're playing Merfolk Mentor and such in here. Okay. Yeah, I was definitely overzealous with the full-out attack there. What is this? Okay. Okay. I think I'm copying a Gravegill Scoundrel. I know I could copy Disruptor Occurrence, but I think I'm just making a copy of the unlockable 1/3. Like, it's up to you to stop me. That was definitely overzealous. Like, once they were, like, with the way that that board clear happened, we didn't have a lot to, like, fully continue. It probably was better instead of either drawing or whatever to making another Regerie so that we had another threat. But Oils has been defeated. That looked like mono blue splash for I thought they were off color. They might have just been mono blue Merfolk splash deceit. Which, like, look at everything they did. They were doing what we do, but, like, in a lot of ways, the same? I was gonna say better, but I think it's just the same. I'm gonna keep this because it curves fine on the play. I don't think I would keep this on the draw, because I think it would be a little too slow, but I like 3 and a 4 even if we don't have a 2. Like, having multiple Sky Swimmers plus a Peddler, we have a lot of evasion going on here. Oh, sweet, and we do have an aggressive 2. That's good. Alright. So... underwater. Rhymekin Recluse, which would be very good if we did not have the 2-drop. I think I'm just making a Sky Swimmer passing. Mystic. Huh? I'd love to trade. Okay. We're gonna go this way because I'd like to trade the Feisty Spikeling with the Rhymekin Recluse if they go to combat. Okay. Funny we drew the Rhyme Speaker after the Convoking, but now all the Convoking is still live, so... Liminal Hold means we're pretty good here. They need to draw a 4 to make this Mystic playable. Okay, there's a 4. Do they have, like... 4th land? I feel like they might want some ramp pieces here. We have or like... The Reach Giant would be a really good piece for them right now. They have some issues with the sky right now. 4-turn clock. Okay. That's a good answer to the sky. I don't disagree with that. They can't attack with it because I'll just trade with the Feisty Spikeling. Okay. So Rhyme Speaker makes Liminal Hold really strong next turn, assuming we don't get hit by another Pitiless Fists. Which obviously could happen here, but, like, I think that we can't stop that from killing. I'd rather get the Rhyme Speaker down right now while they might be more willing to build a board, and killing the evasive creatures is still a necessity? It's not even, like, Pitiless Fist. They could just have Fight Spell, you know? Like, or the Bite Spell. The... Okay. That's sweet. That doesn't... That, like, is a flyer, obviously. But it doesn't stop Rhyme Speaker, which is the most important card on the board right now for us. If the Mystic comes in, I think I'm willing to trade Peddler Plus. If the Rhymekin Recluse is... Okay, and they figured that one out too, because I would just trade with those. Okay, I'm gonna go Liminal Hold. Let's just get the Percher out of here. And then land means Scoundrel. The reason it's Scoundrel is so that Peddler can get in. Peddler wants us to keep filtering off cards so that we can find our 4-drops, so that Rhyme Speaker is stronger. Scoundrel is probably 2nd or 3rd in, like, remove here. Our opponent has a huge hand, though. They've missed land drops, notably. They play the Mystic and the Recluse into the Mystic, so every land they play is a top deck, meaning those 5 cards, 4 of them are necessarily spells. I talk about this a lot, but I find it a very important point to, like, evaluate the board state, knowing, like, our opponent is, right now, a little... Ooh, Lockmare. Move 2 counters, put a stun counter on... Okay. Move a counter draw. Okay. I think tapping the Gravegill Scoundrel here wouldn't be a bad idea. They've correctly identified that. Okay. Sadly, we can't make this a 4-drop spell by paying 4. But we can get some board presence and hopefully draw into something real. Hell, it might be worth throwing the Peddler to the winds if we draw a land next turn just to try and move the posts. 6th land, Eclipse. Wow! What is this? Buddy, what is this? Buddy! Holy smokes! Okay. Is it worth it to throw away Silvergill Peddler to loot a card? To try and get our Rhyme Speaker moving? I don't think so. I think we have enough ground defenses that I don't need to make that move yet. Obviously, the Kulrath Mystics being 4/4s and such, there's a lot of, like, power going on there, but our opponent's also at 11. Like... Okay, Mole Drifting. 3... Oh my god, this card's black for your Mole Drifting. Good play. Okay. How aggressive? Okay. I think I'm willing to do this. I think that's it. Maybe this. If they have a blossoming defenses, I'm not certain that's worth it in the... Ooh, okay. 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 What does that do for us? Where... Other, not opponents. We could pick up the Marrow Sky Swimmer. We could probably go to combat first, see what happens. I'm worried about the long-term position we're in. All right. Lockmare can't tap anything down. It just has a card draw on it. The Mystics are actually a pretty real threat out of them. That's a nice position for them. Looks like they drew some form of kill spell? They did draw 3+1, so 4 new cards. Like, that's not an unreasonable thing here. Do they hit the Rhyme Speaker first? What are we looking for to win this? Okay, they're just looking to draw cards. Interesting. I want a command. I want a command. We're in combat. Huh. No combat. Okay. Okay. Let's draw some real news we can use. Okay. Okay. How do I want to go about this, then? Peddler +4? How deep am I willing to tap for it? Peddler... Okay. Draw. We're gonna draw like 6 cards here. Okay. Let's put the flyer behind. And I'm going to hold keep out, and I'm also going to hold back the scoundrels here in case we need enough blockers. I'm worried about attacking with this Gravegill scoundrel. Maybe that's okay if I tap the Marrow Sky Swimmer. Okay. Ooh, okay. I don't mind if they take that trade. Okay. Oh, this is... It's like a reasonably tense position. If they draw a 4 or higher thing, the Mystics get problem level attacks. The Rhyme Speaker and the Peddler keep us in. Our deck is 13 cards with 4 lands in the grave, 8 lands in play. That's 12, 13. 4 out of 13. Yeah, this deck is good at gumming things up. I think they should realize... Uh-oh, Safeway Cavalry turns on the Mystics. Uh-oh. Okay. That also can pump elves if they have another land. Not that they really have any elves that are coming in. Okay, they do have a land. Alright. So the line here is... Clear. Clear. Oh boy, I don't like how much damage we're taking from this. Clear. Clear. And then when they go to pump Eclipsed Elf, we kill it with Keep Out. We take 8, 9, 10, go to 4. I don't like the position, but I think that's the best we have. So pump Eclipsed Elf to try to kill our Gravegill Scoundrels, because they can't pump the Crossroads Watcher, because the Crossroads Watcher is a Kithkin. This only pumps elves. And the Spiral into Solitude hides our intent. Okay. Intent hidden. We get the Trampler off the board. We take 10. And hopefully, next turn we're able to draw enough to turn a corner. Command? Command? That's not a command at all. Okay. Okay. We draw a card. Okay. This goes second from the top. Because it means that it's a Korath Mystic threat 2 turns from now, which is important. And we're just kind of hoping to clear this out. So they get this next turn, which is 2 Korath Mystic activations. I don't think they have another 4 in hand that wasn't the top deck. So I'm playing to that as a truth. Oh, God. So next turn they're going to draw a thing that turns Korath Mystic on. That's a given. That's going to happen. Okay. I believe that means I need 4 blockers, but I also need enough attackers here. Oh, boy. So we hit them for 2, draw with the Peddler, discard, and then... Next turn's gonna be so bad. Do we just hit them for 1? No. We need to go in for 2. Okay, that's very funny. Alright, and then we're gonna go Korath Mystic on top, actually, of all these. Ooh. If I deploy that, am I in a better position? I Rhymekin Recluse. We're gonna be using every piece of the buffalo in this game. So we're gonna bounce the Mystic so they don't get that many attackers next turn. We're gonna hold the land. And now we've got enough blockers, we know what they're drawing. Okay, they put the other Mystic on bottom. Yep, deploy, deploy. No attacks. Five cards in deck. Okay. All right. Lethal threat. 4 cards in deck. Yeah. You've got to do it. Right? Okay. Can only be blocked by one creature. Yeah, it looks like enough. I can't prevent them if they have a trample trick from killing us with safe right. They just have enough, like, we don't have enough toughness in one body for that. So I'm not playing around that. Sure. No, I have to think how we make sure you're dead this way, and then this goes like this. Like that. Okay. No trample. Again, I can't beat a trample trick, so I'm not trying to. Okay. They did have it. They put it on this, which we could have like overblocked, but again, the real thing here is that the safe right cavalry plus the elf pump is 8, and I only had a 4 toughness blocker. So there's no world where I can beat that. What? Oh, this deck is doing some long fights. Oh my goodness. We're playing to the mat in every game. Yeah, I'm in. This is fine. I'd like a 3, but like, this is all like reasonable. I like the unexpected assistance here. This card's so good. Okay. I don't really mind. I don't care for Spiral right now. Just to the mat. That's where we're going. Here for them long games. Can we draw the 4? That'd be a good draw here, is the 2/4 card draw liker. I don't like that out of our opponent. That's likely going to grab something and then, like, you know. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna pass. Ah, shucks. So on 4... Oh, that's the most dangerous card in the world here, huh? This thing's always great in a deck that like this, where we're heavy on a singular creature type. We've got enchantment kill. We don't have artifact kill. Did they get a card off it? Well, they do. Okay. That's going to become overwhelming very quickly. Ooh, okay. Discard the Peddler. Play the Rhyme Speaker. We're going to try doing this with stuff like Temporal Cleansing and Liminal Hold and... Okay. 5th land. They could play all the revealed cards if they wanted. I assume a 6-drop here, which would eat a removal spell. Okay, 1-drop. This thing's really good. Oh, my Kingdom for... Oh no, oh no, Coolwrath Mystic is back. This is what I get for not being the Coolwrath Mystic Respecter. Keep out, can't touch it. Off the board, please. Leaving it in play for 1 turn was already a little bit of a push, but any longer and they're going to be able to swamp that hand at us. We have a lot of removal. We have a lot of, like, board building and, like, we have a lot of removal. I think the Rhyme Speaker shouldn't be living, though. Okay. That's fine. Replay on that. This is all okay. They're trying to go back to value with this. The Runaway Together works pretty well with what they... Oh my god, alright, they are finding cards for days. You got it, boss. I want to draw a land here. I don't like that. It doesn't do anything. All very awkward. I don't know. I'm not happy with this line. It's mostly that I need to build up creatures in play to be able to make, like, our Convoke moves. You know, being able to play this Sky Swimmer after a Pestered Wellguard. Well, there's a target for our for Keep Out and such if they go ahead and Convoke here. Want to get that off the table, which would be nice, I suppose. Okay. I want to draw a land. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get out our own Pestered Well Guard, and then we'll go ahead and board build. Yeah. Ooh, this will actually look nice, I think. So, Pestered Well Guard. Can you stop that? And then... Omni Changeling? I think they've got a unexpected draw 3. Mr. Ballguard number 2. Alright. So now from here on in, all of these Convoke spells are good. The only thing that could get us is if our opponent were to slam down the Elemental Command. So as long as that doesn't happen, as long as our opponent doesn't play Ashling's Command, everything's great. I think we're fine from this position. We can kind of like eat their flyers with the removal we're holding, and we have 2 Well Guards to their 1. I assume one of our Well Guards is dying. Oh no, we're just picking up. Okay. We get to keep out the Well Guard there. Oh, that's nice. I was scared on this. By invoking the name of the command, I was able to sidestep its existence. What do you mean? They could have it still. That doesn't sound right. But I'm just playing more Marrow Sky Swimmers. How could anything go wrong? I think they're just going to keep playing Flyers, and then we're just going to keep playing Flyers, and then they're not going to have Flyers anymore. That's my move, by the way. Try gumming up the skies. It is the move. Yep. Mystic, and then like maybe that 3/3 flyer? Sweet. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go... Keep flying, indeed. Ah, yeah. Down, bum, 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 bum. Down, 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 down. Higher, oh, higher. Alright. They did not put it on top. Saving the Marrow Sky Swimmer in hand to tap the Pestered Well Guards, just to keep doing that every turn. Ooh! That's fun. That is 3? Luckily, we can just block on the ground. Nothing tramples right now, but then we've got rid of all their flyers. Thank goodness. I'm glad they double blocked. That could have been way worse. I assume any kill spell they ever draw is being targeted at the well guards. The Rhyme Speaker is the actual threat, but the well guards are too annoying. Sure. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Well. 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 Sure. This rules. I love the way that this deck is like functioning. Like, we don't have a permanent way to tap these, but we don't need one. Okay. That's fine. Well, well, well. You got it, boss. Well. 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 Well? Yeah, you just want flyers. I understand it. I'm gonna tap your flyer and draw a card. I think. I don't think I need a lifelink. I think I'd rather have a card. How many cards are left? Yeah. Sure. Alright. And with the flyer out of the picture, the Glister Baron has us. However, I've built the perfect comedy turn. Okay. Oof. Still not out of it. They could still draw an Ashling's Command right off this, and it would be the perfect victory for them. Okay, we're good. We've managed to avoid drowning. This deck is elementally weak to Pyroclasm. Well. Well. Some of this. I'm so happy that I talked about Bitterblossom and like we like sort of it's like a percentage of a Bitterblossom. It doesn't cost a life. You can do it on the turn you play the card. Jonathan. All right, Jonathan. Jonathan. Charlotte. Jonathan. Yes, it's fine. Oh, this is actually good. I like getting that rhyme speaker in here. Rhyme speaker's been like such a key card for this, for a card that we got so late. Like this has been like our engine. Jonathan. Charlotte. Jonathan. Alright, Rhyme Speaker's probably getting eaten by a Blight on 4, but I'm still gonna go for it. We'll go for it post-combat. I think they've got a -4/-4 in hand. That's fine. Okay, that's not a -4/-4. Alright. Hit 2 elves, which is usually what you want from that card. They have something here? The 1 black is, Lifelink Death Touch, make a 2/2 on death, right? Yeah, they could have 1 black, Lifelink Death Touch, make a 2/2 on death here. So I think they need to kill Rhyme Speaker here because we're gonna Sky Swimmer. I am not blocking this card because you're holding a Lifelink Death Touch, make a 2/2 right here. I'll take 2. Try it. Okay. There's the other thing that I said was gonna happen. You know? In good news, I just have the read on the opponent. I'm fairly happy about that. No blocks. You can lifelink. I'm probably going to keep out that when it comes in for another time here, but, like, Encumbered Regery building is pretty important right now. Ooh, Graveshifter pick up the 4/4? Does you have a 4/4 and a 2-drop in there? Okay. Is that worth Liminal Hold? The idea here is that I'm trying to have the Encumbered Regery overwhelm in size. I know that Lifelink Death Touch is a trick that they can just have. Yep, take 2. We're also like... Spend it here? This is me introducing a new moment to try to get them to spend the Scarblade's Malice. Because if they spend the Scarblade's Malice, then they don't have the Scarblade's Malice to Death Touch the Regery token. Okay. correctly identifying the blocks available. Alright. 4 cards in hand. They've missed a couple land drops, so I think they've got some biggies. Yeah, the Stoic Grove is a realistic play. Well. Well. Okay. 1 unknown play and 1 lifelinker. The lifelinker is a problem because it offsets the Sky Swimmer. Another one of these. Alright. Okay. Sometimes you can't fight against the tide, you know? Dude, that swap! Just go from like 90% to Jom. You can do a lot to prepare against the sea. You have to. The sea is a mighty beast who will throw you under its throes at a moment's notice. You can be ready with all of the technology in the world. You can, but sometimes the waves are too much. Sometimes the tides will pull you under. If I had saved Liminal Hold in that specific game, we don't go anywhere because, like, we don't have any threats left. I can't keep this. We don't have anything early to play, and we're also off a color. This has a similar problem, but it's on both colors. I can just, like, throw Keep out under the bus. That's fine. Okay. Well guard. Well. Alright, elves. You know, with the position we're in, I think I'm gonna do this. They threw away Moon Vigil Adherence, which means they're looking for a land. I don't think you throw this away if you have 4 mana. Oh, okay. Unless you want to start pumping that. Luckily for us, that gives us a reason to be able to play Rime-Key and Recluse, which was missing. Hopefully they just have replay that go, and we can attack for 3 and play well. 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 Ooh. Well placed. That's got to be hitting the Well Guard. That's too big of a threat right now. Obviously, it hits the Well Guard in the future, too, but, like... Damn! Talk about a draw I am extremely happy about. Oofa! Must remove. That doesn't look like a removal spell to me. Well... We can play the No, we can't. We just gotta play the Sky Swimmer and attack for 3. Yeah, I'm in. That's a card I will continue to draw. So, no 3rd land out of our opponent. Okay. Gotta do the Midnight... Yo, you have 2 copies of the Adherence. I'm sorry, this looks like a really nice deck. No blocks. That's fine. Ninja. Lifelink Death Touch? We're just gonna spend it for 3 life here? You know? Spend them if you got them? You kinda have to, right? Like... Okay. So we get draw, then we get a loot. And these are some excellent cards to continue to draw here, because we could go ahead and just make sure that there's no blockers left. If you spent this, like, to gain 3 life, I think you're in a panic position, so... Damn. The overwhelming power of the Rhyme Speaker. Rhyme Speaker working with Convoke. It's a positive and a negative. We've seen there's a couple spells that have, like, you can pay additional mana for this to do a thing, like our Mentor, that we could Behold the Merfolk or pay for, and, like, if it was a Shantoto-esque liker, we'd be able to, like, make that 4 mana, but also the fact that Convoke works with it is... Woo-hoo. Fleep. But that was definitely an opponent who needed... Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Regery, aggressive, Omni-Changeling Wellguard. Okay. Aggressive Regery is really cool. And we also have aggressive Regery without a blocker, which is very good for us. Peddler helps out with this. This was the 23rd I put in as a way to deal with Land Flood. Oh my god. I think I'm still just playing the Wellguard here, so let's go combat first. Glamour Might, tap down the Regery. Wait. 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 But are you sure about that? Guess how many copies of Wellguard I'm gonna have in play next turn. Are you ready? So we want a Wellguard and a Wellguard and a card? Well. 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 Knocked off the stadium. 4 of them. Well played. The copy will still be encumbered. Yeah. We got a mimic friend. That's a good omen, by the way. Opening up a mimic. Oh. I'm so happy with this as our final Lorwyn draft. We get to play, like, original Lorwyn Merfolk style stuff with, like, more outlets with Convoke. The original Lorwyn Merfolk from Lorwyn and Morningtide all had this becomes tapped effect on, like, things. Stony Brook School Teller, Judge of Currents, things like that. And then you had, like, Marrow Reege, where you had a tap on tap for that exact reason. And so the Merfolk in here have that going on as well, as we see here, but they're using it with, like, the power of Convoke, the real champion, 15, born in the year 1915. Oh, we can't keep this. We gotta go. I would keep this if we had an island. I would absolutely keep this if we had an island. Does that make me change the thought then? Eight islands, 1 evolving wilds, 33 in the deck. 9 out of 33 is not 25, better than 25% 2 or 3 times. No. Okay. This is fine. I'm gonna put back a Sky Swimmer because a Changeling is like a Sky Swimmer anyway, and it could be better. We can just shuffle it back anyway. Okay, I did the math. We're fine. Could be well. Could be. Well. Okay, Creekwood Safe Right, no grave. So this thing's really good, by the way, as we've seen. Very easy to get this elf in the grave. They can probably do it. No thanks. I'll let that through. Ooh, Nelly. Okay. Creature control of the one or more encounter dies and exile that many cards. You may play them. Terrifying. So I still can't block because I need the Marrow Sky Swimmer, and I can't afford the Gravegill to die in combat here. They also would draw 4 cards off of this. They might still do it. Are they gonna draw 1 million cards? Please. Ooh, no. Ooh, don't do that. Ooh, don't have a Thoughtseize. If you have a second one of those... Don't have a second one of those. Okay. Alright, 1. Okay. So they can draw 5 when they go to combat with Shadow Urchin. Right? It isn't draw, but it kind of is. Are we doing it? Are we drawing 5 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So they get they can play these until end of turn. So they're gonna play a land, and then they're gonna play Archer, and then they're gonna play Weaver, and that's 3 creatures, and they get to pick up the Blight Haver again. Hey, this is terrifying. I need to draw an assistance pretty badly. Okay, they only have a full grip. It's fine. Alright, Creekwood safe, right? Steel. Okay, but this gets counters back on it, which basically makes it, you know, worse. See? Oh boy, okay. Our opponent has identified, okay, not enough, though. Okay, okay, hold on. Now, do they have a way to kill this? If they have that, like, Blight 1 kill spell, the Black 1 or Pay 3, to kill our flyer and kill the Creekwood? Okay. Alright, hold on. Hold on. I'm still feeling alive, I say, knowing that death awaits me. Okay. Death does not await me yet. Okay. Okay. Good news, they basically don't have anything real to pick up with that. There's nothing real for them to be able to play off of that, so it's fine. It's a very good thing that they don't have a real card to be able to play off of that, because if they did, it would be pretty bad. Okay. 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 Okay, so the way we get out from under this is cards in deck 18. Okay. All right. You got it. I will, I'll hand you that one. I'll let you take the 20 off me. What a cool setup. I really love, the power of the urchins in here. Urchins with Safe Right, is really cool for what they did, the draw 5, but it's also really cool as like a sync for it too. As a way for them to like put things on it. They also can just like cycle these weavers. You know, blight the weaver and like, you know, move from there. That's pretty dang cool stuff they got going on. All right. Well, that ends our adventures in Lorwyn. Perfect timing. We hit the 2-hour mark. We didn't quite get to maximum magic, one game away, but that's still the penultimate magic. It seems like a pretty fitting ending for Lorwyn Eclipsed, in my mind. We get to see the shadow of the final game. So I can't wait to see the next magic set. I hear it's called Slay the Spire 2. Yeah. It's weird. They're releasing this new Magic set this week called Slay the Spire 2. Um, it's got, you know, 2 new classes and 3 old classes, and it's in early access, and we're going to be seeing a lot of it. It's got multiplayer. I'm going to find a way to go off with that. Where, you know, all sorts of things are going to be happening. Anyway, let's send off Lorwyn Eclipsed with a couple packs. But yeah. Yeah, the early access for Slay the Spire 2 releases on Thursday. But Thursday is Little Town Hero stream, and Slay the Spire is our Friday stream. One day we'll whet the appetite. I really enjoyed this set. This is one of the best limited formats I think I've played that has like this creature type focus. You know, elves and elementals and stuff. There's a lot more. There's obviously the very straightforward elves and merfolk and plans, but I really like that that's not the only thing going on and that the other plans are pretty real. I also think that like elementals and elves have a great position, but I just had a lot of fun with it, and it doesn't hurt that this is a set that like is calling directly to an era of Magic in a lot of ways that I have incredible fondness for. And doing some really fun things with it. So. Oh, thank goodness. Speaking of fondness for the past. Doran, the set does not leave us without an appearance of our good buddy Doran, the sieged tower. Love this buddy. Oh god, Adept Water Shaper is such a... You ever read this card? Tap creature control indestructible. It's fine. It's fine. It's normal. It's like very normal. Imagine that in our deck. I just want you to imagine that. No ring. Abigail, very cool. I thought that the addition of the Strixhaven characters as like one-off, these like first-year cards in a cycle, I think was a cool position for them to be in. Playing on, like, you know, future expectations, but also being very unique cards. All of the students stand out. And I think that's a good position for them to be in. They're not like commanding, but they're strong, and they feel like they're doing something that isn't Lorwyn in a lot of ways, which is important because they're not Lorwyn, right? Like Abigail, the way that Abigail and all of them work is there's a couple that are obviously Lewin from Lorwyn is a student from Lorwyn, but yeah. No, I understand that. I'm thinking I both like that as a point of view, but also mechanically, I think that they stand out is a feature, not a bug. Yeah, hey buddy. What a fun friend in this has some strong standard play with Evoke Elementals and buddies. Flame Braider is a very real card. And the champions are very cool. Anyway, that's been our adventures in Lorwyn. Next time, we will be adventuring back in the burrows. We'll be having some turtle power. Turtles in time shall appear. But that will be next week on Monday. I'll be doing the similar bit of kind of doing the pre-stream, well not pre-stream, but pre-draft, talking about the set and its build and its mechanics and such, and then doing some of the drafting for Turtles. But yeah, thank y'all for joining. If you want to catch more, you can always follow. You know, glad to have you here. We stream is 7 Central on weekdays. You can subscribe, you get the cool skulls and slimes. Appreciate y'all being here and appreciate you subbing, but I also just appreciate, you know, Even if you're here just watching, not talking, anything you're doing, it's great. Upcoming streams. Tomorrow's more Trails, and we're in some very deep, fun parts of Trails in the Sky. That is all up on the VODs if you want to catch up on that. It's been an incredibly fun journey. We're in some very big story beats to experience. Wednesday is a new game? New old game. We'll be starting Dragon Quest 1 HD off of the HD 2D 1 and 2. That'll be the start on Dragon Quest Wednesday. Looking forward to that. I expect it'll be a shorter stream number than anything else, because Dragon Quest 1 is not a long one. But I'm very excited to see what sort of additions, changes come into that. Thursday will be the return of Little Town Hero, and then Friday, Slay the Spire 2, as I've mentioned. Anyway, that's a lot, but I wanted to make sure you heard all the things that are going on. Yu-Gi-Oh! On Saturday, maybe. We'll see that too. If you just want to hear me, being psyched talking about cards, that's possibly a thing too. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.